Okay, so everyone, it's a great honor to introduce Professor Sasha Beilinson, who'll be speaking on BunG at
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's very nice. I will talk about, well, a part of the work of Beilinson and Picard, where they prove that the category of the right category of the models when the spec BunG is completely generated. Well, that is actually quite an important result, but it's not terribly difficult. On the other hand, you should have all the definitions, in particular about the modulus and stairs, and this would be introduced later. And therefore, what I will do is to talk about sort of a genetic genetic facts behind the proof. And the proof itself, model of this geometry is easy and will be given some kind of slide later. But still, let me. So here is a plan for today. So again, one with the introduction and this will be, well, I will formulate a question about the models, and you don't need to know much about them. I will explain the notion of contractiveness. That plays a key role in the argument of the Picard, and then I will prove a contractiveness for BunG first in the case of SL2, where actually most of geometry is clearly seen, and then in case of general G. So that's the plan. So I will start with one, and well, again, it all the place around geometric tangents. The models on stack BunG play a role, and again, in order to play, to be able to play with the category of the model as well easily as people play with vector spaces in classical theory, you need to know one effect that it is completely generated. And what it means, I don't know explain at the moment at all, but one should know that again, it's also well proven by them that if you have any smooth quasi-compact step, then the category of the models is completely generated. And so the problem is in the fact that BunG is not quasi-compact. And in general, if you have a non-quasi-compact smooth something, certainly, well, the models are objects of local nature. So of course you can define what is the model on anything, quasi-compact or not. But well, you can consider the derived category, but then you will get stuck with this problem that it may not be compactly generated, and it's sort of a very peculiar product. And I'm going now to try to explain what kind of geometry maybe not lies behind this notion, but at least implies this notion. Well, so first, well, let me consider an example. The stupidest example of a connected smooth scheme which is not quasi-compact. And let's take a two-dimensional smooth manifold F0 or well, could be of dimensions if you wish at least two. Well, and then pick a point. And then we can let's define x1 is to be the blow up, let it be the blow up of x0 at the point x small 0. All right, and then let's choose another point, x1. Well, but maybe x1 should be not an arbitrary point on x1, but it will lie on the exceptional device. Okay. And then let's repeat the procedure. So we will get x2, and here will be x2, and so on. Now, notice that let's define u1 to be xi with a complement to x small I in xi. And then it's clear that we have embeddings for u0 sits inside u1 because u0 is the complement to the exceptional divisor in x1. It blow up, it just changes your manifold x0 and x. The complement stays the same. So it is the complement to the divisor, and so you have embedding to x1, and since we have removed in u1, we have removed the point exactly in the exceptional divisor, and we will have this embedding and so forth. Well, and the union of ui well, it's evidently not quasi-compact. And notice that on the every stage we have a divisor. So every embedding is an embedding of codimension down. That is a typical non-quasi-compact smooth manifold. And the fact is that in this case, the category of the models is not completely so the fact that in case of BunG, it is completely generated is something very well. It tells you that BunG behaves at infinity behaves somewhat complementary to this situation. Well, now the way that the infected gave him check that the story that the category of the models on something is completely generated is this. I suppose that we have a space, and the space for me will be a smooth scheme or smooth stair. And suppose that it's represented in this manner. Where all ui are quasi-compact. Then the geometric fact, well, the fact that is that implies compact generators from the category of the models on X is the following. That's the thing to be. I will belong to the open invariance file. Okay, this is the corresponding process. And what is enough to check the compact generators is the following very peculiar property. Namely, that we have this embedding ui side of ui spot. And what we want to check is that if we have coherent model, again, I don't need for you the number what it means, but fine attention rates. Then we can consider its direct image. Of course, the direct. And this will be a Z model on Qi plus 1. But it need not be fitted at all. But suppose we have this very peculiar situation that the sequence has property that the thing is automatically fitted. And then it's not difficult to prove if one knows one knows the conclusion that if this property holds for every given I, then the category of the others will be X is completely. Well, the question I want to ask about the models, yes. Suppose that we have such an open equation. G, U, C, E, open equation. Start. What geometric property of J small will guarantee this range? Sure that maybe before I answer this question, and the answer is not complete actually, but it is what is checked in case of BunG. Is that certainly, well, it needs some a little bit of work to check that here the category is not completely generated. But the fact that, for example, this sequence of UI does not at all satisfy this property is evident. Because, well, what we do, we every complement, well, in one U to the previous is a divisor. And certainly, if you have typical coherent model, say just a shape of differential operator, and you extend it to the divisor, you extend it by just playing characteristics, neuromorphic extension. And neuromorphic extension of B is, well, it's a very simple exercise, but it's absolutely not finding. So it's not good. So we should exclude somehow this situation. So our aim is to find geometry which would be some sort of complementary to this naive scheme theoretics thing. Also, same what would happen if we just remove in divisor, but something smaller like a generators will get your next degree. Now, the contractiveness is a property which which implies, which answers this question. So let me formulate what is it. maybe I first will explain the story on the level of schemes, and then we will pass the steps, and then we will see that it's not terribly. But so the situation is, so suppose that we have suppose that we have this situation that we have a scheme W over S, and this is let's assume that it is applied. So we have two schemes, and W is applied on S. Well, you can assume it also to be a finite type, but I don't care. And then suppose we also have an action of the line. And the line I consider here as a plain commutative monoid with respect to multiplication. And I want that it would be the relative action. So on S, the action is and moreover, I want to do this. Consider an element 0 in A1, and then is certainly well, 0 times 0 is against 2. So we have projection, the corresponding element X on W as a projection. And what we want is that the smart could be decomposed the composition of the projection on the side. So basically, for every point of S, the section gives you a point in W, well, which is the image of 0, and therefore it is fixed, equivalently it is fixed by the action of definition. It's enough to know that it's fixed by the action of GM. So every fiber has a unique fixed point. So that is our situation. All right. Well, maybe equivalently, since W is affine over S, we know that W is spectrum OS algebra R. Yes, and the fact that we have action of A1, well, let's consider just action of GM, and this means that the algebra is created. The fact that GM action extends to the action A1 means that the gradient is positive. The gradient and well, and what we also know this last condition, well, it means that the zero component of R exactly equals to S. Right. Well, now such a picture yields this picture of stacks. So we have first we have W model GM. This is a nice stack, and inside of it, there's it. Inside of W, we have a closed embedding from S to W to the fixed points of GM. And therefore, we will have an embedding of S with trivial GM action over GM, and this is the same as S times BGM. BGM, I recall, is portion. model of directional change. So we have the smallest thing. Well, and its complement is we should remove S from W and then this is the part where there is no fixed point of the reaction. And what we get actually is that the complement is exactly something which is called approach of approach is standard in this construction from the G. Okay. So it is very, so you see it's very somewhat peculiar situation where we have, but maybe the most typical and stupid situation actually which we mostly we will consider the case when the look is the spectrum of polynomial algebra. So we have that bundle. Well, let's take it dual. And then here we'll stay well and say this is the point. Then we will have equation called BunG inside of this thing. The thing is just the model of GM, yeah. And then the complement will be projectivization. You see, it is a peculiar situation because our intuition is that if we have this is an open embedding, that if we have something proper, like projective space, there is absolutely no way to embed it in a non-trivial way into something. But here we do. We do it, and it's quite a non-trivial doing because locally it's just embedded completely zero to the vector space. Well, and this is the model of our situation. Maybe because before I will continue, let me tell that actually, though this thing or to those that did not see it before, is a sort of a strange picture. But let me just it's a sort of a pedagogical integration. Is that actually you know this picture very well from the course of basic algebraic geometry. And let me explain how what that picture actually sits behind the classical basic theorem of Serre, which tells that a given sheets on projective space is the same canonically identified with the quotient category of the graded models over symmetrical polynomial algebra. So this algebra model of the subcategory finite dimension. So let me explain why, and then you maybe at least get some feelings that this picture is not as weird as it's. And since it's very easy, let's consider what are the coherent models on BunG here. Coherent models on B are the same as models over symmetrical algebra, are models, and on the quotient, these are the same as GM equivariant models, and that is the same as graded models over symmetrical algebra. Graded in the sense that every element, well, it's graded symmetrical algebra in standard way, it's the graded, so the note and coherent. modules. Well, and now inside of this vector sits this closed subscheme of fixed point. And a very easy exercise is that we have debating that those coherent models that are supported on this closed subscheme, closed substack, these are exactly the finite dimension. Is supported of BG. This that's a very easy exercise, but you can just restrict on some work of and see. Okay, well, and therefore, and this open complement. And we know that the category of in such situation, the category of coherent models of the open complement is closure. All coherent models model those sub, and that is exactly the same. All right. So at least you. I want to convey that you saw the speech at least in the disguise for this third theorem.
So this remembers the finite dimensional modules that are discarded in series.
Yes, but this geometric picture tells you that in what sense the discard that you have still the whole category of creative models they're just coherent shapes. And you discard those that are supported in both subs. Okay? Those that are sit on the complement, and these are two models of the projectives. All right. It was just a digression for the filters. All right. Actually, those well, maybe now let me give a general situation. What it means that we have a contractive pair. So again, we have this embedding, open embedding from UAP, and we want to of stacks, and we want to have some property which would assume this, right? And this property is contractiveness. So suppose that we have a closed embedding, well, an open embedding of stacks. I would write them curve, shows that they're stacks. Well, we have complementary closed. And we will say that this data is contracted if it is in specific sense locally isomorphic to this story. Namely, there is a chart. Well, maybe let's go contraction. Well, which would be a smooth map from, which would be as data as before. Plus a smooth map Well, you can imagine. So this will be the model for our open embedding. So this means that I should have a project from probably not GM to V. And V was here a vector space. No. Let it be right. It will go as y. So here will be blue. And here will be UBC. Well, and what I want to have is that we will have what was here is GM, which implies here that we will have the thing will be exactly the same images. All right. And moreover, what I want is that this projection is subject. That would be by and by such like right. So let's call this a contraction. So the very simplest.
Pullback?
Hmm?
Is that pullback?
Oh, the pullback here. Well,
No, no, in the left. Is the left hand a pull?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
Yes, it is exactly the pre-immature. Maybe I should say what is not terribly nice access to it. Well, maybe sorry, I should formulate a theorem which I will not prove because I did not give definitions, but it is exactly that this if we have embedding from U to Y. That it is a contractive. If it is contractive, then this property would be satisfied. Then J Lava star would preserve the keys. Maybe I should first I should explain. I will not remove it, but let me explain the reason for this. And maybe even I will consider seemingly completely trivial example. This example covers actually everything. And the trivial theorem contractiveness. Implies that J Lava star preserves so let me consider just an absolute stupid example, and you will see why. And the stupidest example would be when we consider the situation with projective space, but I want here V to be of dimension 1. Then we will have BGM. Yeah. Again, let me put paper. And then the complement of this is A1 without 0 not of the chain, which is you can ask why on S here the hang. And the reason for this is that coherent model quality. On the point, you know what they are finite dimensional vector spaces. And in order to compute a direct image, you should consider direct image is a local thing, so you should consider pullback and consider the basic from A1 minus 0. And I have told you that if you have the models here, then now start direct images. Absolutely not finitely generated. But if we have functions, then its direct images finitely generated. Well, it's finitely generated on its own. First standard practical and pull back certainly of functions here and functions here. So the reason is that somehow in transverse direction to the stratum, every coherent model behaves as well, just as functions. So that is basically the proof of the theorem, and again, it's very simple. Just that you should only function you should know apart from the direct image of functions by open embedding is all this coherent is that push forward of any coherent model by proper methods also proper direct image and proper preserve coherent. But again, I'm not going to speak about the models, but that is just the logic. I'm trying to explain the logic and the article. Well, and I will be doing only with this property, and I will try to explain why in case of UGM this strange property holds and explain what the maybe I should also say that all stacks of this type that we will have, they will be very of that kind. Well, this will be a typical example. And there may be a less typical example would be that suppose that we have such a picture. Well, maybe the base would be not point, but scheme or a stack, but still we have a vector bundle on it. But I will GM assume that affects not by homothesis, but well by some action of GM with fixed 0 being its fixed point. So along you have, if you wish, you have base, and along bases it will act by powers of standard character, and the powers should be necessarily positive in order that this action will be extended to A1 action. All right, and the corresponding quotient is called weighted projected space, and it needn't be by the way smooth. It's quite a one of the first examples that is examples in the theory of rhetoric differences. But we do not consider any more complicated situation than weighted projected space. This is just sort of just want to sell that in case of BunG, that would be. But still, it's nice to have this. Maybe a second remark that I want to say is that this this sort of definition for this one and this one, they are not very nice. Nice with respect to they're not nicely connected with this with the initial problem as that interests. And the reason for this is that this thing is not well. The question about preserving coherence by the direct image in this situation is certainly local with respect to the complement of the order. Well, if we know that this property holds locally on Z after, then certainly it will hold in G. But this definition itself is not at all log. Just because this projection P is of the full space of W model Chicago. And if we remove from a W model GM, say, maximizers and intersect is 0, then certainly this property will also hold, but this will be not contractive separation. So if you want to think about this, maybe there is some way, maybe there is a way to formulate some property on the level of contingent spaces to our stacks that would assure coherence. And this would be perhaps, well, it would be nice to, so if you want to have a nice exercise out here. They don't know that. Well, so now let's pass to BunG. By the way, when should I make the break?
Usually at 5, which is 40. Sorry, 4. Actually, that's never mind. That's so actually that would be a good spot for break.
Okay, then that's
Sorry, yeah.
Past break. Right. Now we pass the BunG. Okay, so we have BunG. Well, and we know that it's not quasi-compact, and moreover, we have this very beautiful Carter-Narasimhan stratification with very explicit definition, very explicit structure of a strata, and we know that if we remove all strata, that basically all closed strata in the final domain, then we will get probably something like so everything is within the union of quasi-compact substacks. And then you can ask if in order to prove yes, there is actually a case can do that the models on the whole thing for some compactly generate. Basically, we want to just to use this theory. And again, the theorem, if you have all definitions about the models, it's almost immediate. Well, so we want to use it to use the Harvard-Narasimhan stratification in order to just to prove that now there is some very minor problem. This is everything is true, but there is some minor problem. And this minor problem almost does not appear in the case of a set. And this is the case that I will explain here last. And then we will get to the chain. Now, well, in this case, we have very simple just structure of strata. So let me remove it. So I will then we will have BunG is a union of increasing sequence of open quasi-compact substacks. Let me denote it. One, yes, I will G. And let's also call it just maybe UN. N is a positive number, so we have if 0 seats inside 1 seats inside and so on, and then and the union you keep with our BunG, and every UI are classified. Now, how do you define it? Well, what is the point of one SH2? Well, it is a two-dimensional vector bundle on here. You have the hooks as well. There was curve, it was X, yeah?
Second.
The name of the curve was X.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
Wonderful. Now, this is just a two-dimensional vector bundle on X. Together with identification, we can consider if the terminal, which is the second exterior power of B, yeah, it's identified with real number. So we have trivialization, and that's something the same as the two terms. Great. Now, and this is the description I will use. And now, by definition, a point on of a lesser equal n will be those B, which have the following properties that every line subbundle in V has degree less or equal than n. And well, it is clear that not difficult to prove that such values they form actually was a compact stack, and now and that suddenly every vector bundle, given vector bundle, can have lines and bundles on the boundary degree. So the union of the thing is a whole on the whole boundary space. Okay, and now let us see what are. So these are, if you wish, open strata and locally closed strata are just differences. Okay, and this is exactly vector bundles E, and let's consider n the inter. Maybe I should say that BunG 0. So here n is more than 0. That BunG lesser or equal than 0, it is also the same as semi-stable bonds by definition. Now, let's consider BunG n. So suppose that n is more or equal than 1, and let's consider the difference between lesser or equal than n and lesser or equal than 1. Well, then it is the same as those B, as here. It means that it is the same that those three which has line subbundle of a degree exactly n. And lines of bundle, I mean that is actually about that the quotient is also locally free, it's also line bundle, so you can it's sort of maximum embedding lines. Of degree. Indeed, if you have certainly such a thing can have some bundle of degree larger than n. So think seeds inside of bundle. So it was that for such a bundle cannot be projected because this condition of the determinant means that if you consider the model, this will be a line bundle of degree equals minus. Yeah. Certainly, there is no way to send something positive if this is something of negative. So it should be equal to L, and so it will have degree. Right? So that means that looping necessary seeds and lesser equal than n, and also certainly it does not want to just by definition. So that is a description. If you wish, we can also describe this one here as bundles with respect to the barrel subgroup that's considered inside of a silicon. The barrel subgroup, which will be and I will call it B. And inside of B, there will see GM, and the embedding of GM will be like the embedding will be lambda most certainly diagonal matrix. Now, certainly at the moment we have such a class. This is the same as a bundle with respect to barrel subgroup. With respect to B. Now we should find it, but we have some degree, and the degree will be measured like this. We have projection from B to multiplicative loop, yes, from B to the torus. And so we know that we can call we have D1, but we will call it degree, the degree of the corresponding line, and this is the same as degree of H. Okay, and this will have and I wanted to have degree there. That is a description. That is description of the stratum, and again, n is or equal to that. Now play.
So the claim here is BunG n is equal to BunG n.
Yes. That is equal to BunG n equal to BunG. But it's just rephrase. Yeah, this rephrasing of this. Right? Well, now maybe before I will formulate let me just say a little bit how the strata look like. Certainly, well, so this is a strata starting from the first one, second one, and so on, and this will be just different pairs LB with different degree, positive degree of error.
Sasha, can I just ask, sorry, are you asserting this equality at the level of stacks, like you're saying it's actually
Yes.
there's a map, but you're saying it's nice stacks.
Yes, well, yes, as an isomorphism of stacks, if you put here reduced stack stack.
Reduced, okay.
All right. Fine. Now we can describe this one and B as follows. So we have projection from one and certainly to Picard and right to Picard n. I find one of the degree here and with us. That's sign L, which is inside of B. Sign L is L. Yeah. And we can describe what is the fiber. And the fiber are certainly, well, what is B? To have this extra data that determinant is isomorphic to X, it is the same as identify the quotient B mod L with the dual of L. Yes, because the determinant will become the product of L and quotient of B mod L. And therefore, such B is the same as an extension. And if you wish, so we can consider over. So the thing is just identified the data of B is the same as data of such an extension. Well, and they form something well. So if you wish, I have the fiber. This means that the fiber of the projection over given L is the stack of all extensions. Well, maybe, and this is the 5 minus L equals the extension. Yeah. And this is the same as extensions for, if you wish, depending by L. This is the same as extensions of 1 by L minus 2L, and that's the same as gamma. Well, but I should shift it by 1 because the class of extensions does come complex as homology degree 0 and 1, and I will shift it so that we will have homology of degree 1 and degree 0. So this is and then we see how it looks like. Certainly, the thing is defined for every n, and this R gamma will become will be when n is very negative, when n is negative, and then we see that this is not a stack at all. Then H1 is coefficient in H tensor square vanishes, and so we will have only H0 of H tensor 2, and well, and so it's not a stack, but a space, but if we go to the opposite part when n is a positive, which interests us, then if n large enough, then we will have only 0 homology, and this means that we will have just single object, and its endomorphism will be as a sections to H tensor square. And so, ending with this, large here means that at the degree, I recall that H1 will disappear at the moment of line bound. At the moment, its degree becomes larger when G minus 2 is used. And this means that if n, and the degree of this is twice the degree of L, and this means that if n is larger than G minus 1, and then every such extension splits, and we have purely static picture. So this BunG and E, well, the corresponding course space projects isomorphic to Picard, well, and the fibers will be just endomorphism, but the fibers will be just sections of A square. This is a vector bundle over the picture. So that is the structure of BunG and E. Let's apply that. BunG and course equals big and also course. I have described that. All right. Now the claim is that now that the derivating.
When you say course, you mean the Picard scheme, so it's a.
Yes, Picard schemes, and here also. Yes, just because projection is. Oh, so the claim is that if this condition holds, then well, then this is a situation of then the situation is contract, and it's well, and we can say that in order to, so this means that if I just draw finitely many things which are complicated with small n, then doing more next and next strata, we will have this contractive situation, and therefore, if we start for not with u, but with u with number G minus 1, then we'll go on, then the situation with this theorem could be used to prove that the category of the models is computation. Right? Now let me explain why this claims. So in order to do it, I need to construct this contraction chain. And again, it should look like I thought that we should find a small map well, some W, whatever it will be, this action of GM with all this properties, and the thing should be mapped to and so the three equal. So we should construct and it is a very beautiful, very nice construction actually. Maybe let us consider. So here we consider this one M, we consider one PM. Yes, but now let's instead of one PM, let us consider one B, this number of lines. And let me check. We put the equality, but this is the same and one. Oh, so what does? So again, so here, in order to define the strata, we consider line one, B bundles with a positive degree. Now we consider this. Now, what does it mean to consider it as negative? Maybe a little bit more convenient would be well, I would call before I called line bundle inside of B by M, and now because it's degree minus n, I will call it a minus. So we have this situation, we have a one, which sits inside of what is so we have a flag. As a result, we have a flag a minus one equals L. And suddenly we can say and suddenly such thing the projection which assigns such a flag assigns just B itself. Its image sits inside one less or equal than M. And the reason for this is that if you have some line bundle inside of B of degree more than N, then certainly its projection to the quotient L must be triggered because the thing has degree. There's no way to send line bundle of larger degree, line bundle of smaller. And so we think equals to L minus one, which is absolute. Negative degree. So the image of the thing is here. Now, the second property, well, we need to know that it is right. Well, it is smooth. And the reason for this is that let's see how the map will go on the level of tangent spaces. Now, tangent spaces here is cumulative. The way to deform is sorry, not V, but endomorphism. So V or actually endomorphisms of V with determinant with trace. This is the tangent space to bar. Now, the tangent space to this thing is cumulative of, well, it is BunG. There is cohomology and the corresponding clear algebra. So this is an endomorphism preserves the plan. And the map, so we have cohomology endomorphism preserves the flag to all endomorphisms. Well, and certainly this is an embedding, and the quotient of this will be exactly. We check that if endomorphism preserves a flag, we should just look if it preserves L minus one. So we have from L-1, apply Dommerfist rule to L, and therefore the quotient will be exactly from L-1 to L, but this will be L and the square. And this, we know by the degree consideration that H1 of the thing is 0. And this means exactly that the differential of P is such. So our pi is small, right? Now, let's try to see what happens. What does it mean? Well, what will be if you wish? What will be double? And in order to do it, we should put some sort of rigidity. And rigidity, to put rigidity, we should replace. Well, we have Picard. Oops, maybe the narrator here. We should write Picard n as Picard course times BJ. Right? And in order to do it, we should consider one standard way is to consider Picard course identified with vector bundles which are specified by given point of x is trivialized. And then this will provide you immediately such an identification. Well, and then we can consider one B also project to Picard n, and then we can consider pull back to Picard course with respect to this thing, and then we get exactly we will get an actual scheme, and this will be done. So again, its points will be a line bundle viewed as an element of Picard course, the parameter scheme, and then we have a class of extension, or which is say an element of each. Now, how GM acts? GM acts by matrices of line bundle, and therefore the action on the corresponding extension will be also by matrices, but they're square. H1 is coefficient in X square, so it protects by squares. Right? Well, and now what will sit over one again. Well, over one n, I will sit those pairs which are split exactly, and this is the opposite flag to the canonical flag, canonical embedding of n to b. So we have a splitting, and therefore over one n, I will sit exactly in this preparation. And if we go trivialization with GN, there will force pick n, and again the rest of dimension are contracted by the just multiplication by square of the. So it's exactly the picture. The picture of the maybe a little bit better thing to do, which will be convenient for future, is to call it not by BunG with number minus n, but rather BunG B minus the opposite parallel subgroup inside of the SL2. Well, if you wish, I can put also here and maybe put the opposite. And so what we do, if you wish, so more or less the picture is like this, that we have one n which will correspond inside of one less or equal than n as just the step of those vector bundles which are direct sum L of degree n and L minus 1. And what we consider now, instead of considering, yes, it was done in one n as extension of A minus 1 by L, we consider, since it's a direct sum, it's the same as we have opposite extension of L by L minus 1. And this thing now deforms. Now we stop. Consider only trivial extension, but consider L1, and then we get this at the stack and at the corresponding projection, which assigns just B. Then now it is a contraction chain. All right. So that's a picture for a silicon. Now, let me explain what happens for the general group. Again, for general group, the picture is very, very simple. So I should just basically quickly remind what is just a basic definition of filtration and but maybe first I will consider a student case, a very student case, which is equivalent to the case of SL2, but just the case of G equals SL2 times. And then you will see that there is comes some minor difference. So again, so here, in order to have a sequence of U's that would have this contractiveness property, we should start with UG minus 1. There, in case of 1G equals SL2 times SL2, certainly the Cardamar-Simons stratification would be just a product of two stratifications. Yeah. And then it will be labeled by pairs of positive integers. And again, before we should start this number, this one. And here it happens like this, that you will have problems if either of the two components lies in the problematic region. So we have here same thing, and basically what is problematic will be this region. Now you can ask what would how well, we would like to have something a sequence of UI or an ordered set of UI such that this complements of next minus the previous would have this contractive property. And here we cannot just remove finitely many things from the bottom, consider them starting from the next. But instead, what should we do is to consider, in case of SL2 times SL2, is to consider a little bit different stratification. Maybe I should say, even in case of SL2, we would consider different stratification, which starts with UG minus 1. And then we consider the sequence of. And here we consider the product of those. So, so as a result, the new stratification will have a little bit different strata. So outside of this problematic split, it will be six absolutely same strata, but here the strata will be look as union. So here will be the two square one stratum, then there will be this vertical intervals, and here there will be horizontal. So union of finitely many strata. And exactly the same picture happens in case when the rank of arbitrary G with rank more than one. What we do, we should a little bit modify the heart of Narashiman filtration. So if we sit deeply inside this type of region, then fine, all heart of Narashiman filtration is, but what we should do is modify, like in case of the SH2 times SH2, modify the filtration. So let me give just briefly a recall. I recall the part of Narashiman filtration, and then I will formulate how you modify it, and then I will the theorem would be that this modified filtration is satisfy contractiveness property, and then I will just show the corresponding contraction chart. Well, I hope that 15 minutes would be enough. Again, there is absolutely no the moment we know what Narashiman filtration is, and this I will remind. Then modification is basically on the node. Right. So general G. Well, so we consider the well, I asked some notation. So we have lambda G, which is the core root. Yes. Well, and then we will have inside of the thing, we will have core roots, simple core roots alpha pi. Roots mu. Yeah. Well, and the next thing is that we have inside. Well, it's more convenient to have things with rational coefficients for the reasons that there are some torus like center of the group and maximal rhetorical quotient that are only isogenious. So it's better to put here equal places. Well, so what do we need? Well, we have dominant covariates, and sometime I will drop Q. It's dominant covariates. And also here we have something which they denote by lambda positive, and this is linear combinations of with positive coefficients of simple core roots. And this is used in order to define the order on lambda G. That is a code, and so on determines you one of positive elements, and it defines you translation invariant order on lambda G, and that may be everything that I need. Well, maybe the next thing is I guess you have the event sometimes. that we want to know that what is spicy root for BunG, and there is canonical identification of this for the latest model of the letter generated by root. But to this precise thing, we don't need that much, but we will have projection of this to lambda certainly for G modulo computant. And so it's maximum portion torus. And this thing will called the degree. Well, and then that's maybe everything.
So it's a projection of characters of G.
It is dual to characters.
Ah, sorry.
Every character sends a G bundle. Every character of G sends a G bundle to a line, and line bundle has degree. So every character produces a map from this to integers. Therefore, you have characters. Well, next is a definition which has to do with stability. Stability and let's define open hyperparameter in Strata. So if you have theta, which is a positive co-weight, dominant co-weight, then then we have this substack about E less or equal to that. And by definition, it is formed by all F which sits inside of BunG, such that, well, let B be a Beilinson as such that for every reduction of F to P, well, at the moment we have FB, we have the corresponding torsor with respect to the Cartan subgroup, yes? And the Cartan subgroup with the Cartan group maybe and this has a degree. And degree will be again, it is this is the same Cartan group as G, and so it will sit inside of lambda G. Well, then what I want to be is that this property that it is less or equal than that. Okay. So that F D. Correct? we consider a flag inside of reduction to be the same as flag, then we consider successive quotient of the flag, and they form FT, and then we consider the data of its degree, and this is less or equal to that with respect to the order produced by this lambda presence.
So just to make sure I understand, you're saying you consider this must be true for all detours
Yes.
giving
Yes.
rise to F? Okay.
Yes, such that for every reduction, I consider well, let us say that a point F lies inside of this substack if it satisfies the following for every B, every reduction of F to the parallel subgroup, its degree is less or equal. In case when that equals to 0, this is the same as semi-stable. Bundles. Well, and then it is larger and larger. And the thing has becomes larger and larger. And these are the standard opens which have to do with the Harder-Noisy stratification. And the strata themselves defined certainly as difference between the two open strata that's equal to that's a strata. Yeah. They can be described also very, very explicitly. And then you will have, I recall that that is a positive covariance. And this lambda plus is well, a cone with spaces. We can look where on which faces theta lies. So we can consider all roots such that all the indices I the label roots of coordinates such that the scalar product of theta is the corresponding group equals. Now this subset of positive roots defines your parabolic. Parabolic subgroup Pi, and what should we do? The Pi has leading motion Mi. And we should consider the following thing. We should consider velocity. Notice that theta with this property defines it defines a covariate of I, which is orthogonal to all roots inside of M, because the linear subgroup is generated by the corresponding coordinates, and this lies in the complement, and therefore we can consider one M of degree equal to theta, and also we can consider its semi-stable part. And then we can consider its free inside one. And that well, know how to call it. Well, let's call it one. And fine. All right. And now the claim is that the thing exactly it projects to BunG, maps to BunG. And the claim is that in case of characteristic 0, it is a locally closed embedding, which identifies it exactly with this graph. So this is a description, not more. This is one, maybe one of the main theorems about the characteristic stratification. And now I can formulate the story. So this are Strata. Again, they are labeled by rational positive, rational dominant covariates, but well, rational is sort of a fiction. Actually, the thing is empty unless the thing lies in, I think lies in lambda plus, maybe a little bit more, maybe lambda plus. I forgot, but let's do it in this formulation. Well, and now what we want to do is to consider just slightly coercive stratification. And I will let me define it. Again, so we have this slightly coercive stratification. Coercive will mean that its strata are unions of those strata. And this means that the corresponding indices are not dominant counts, but some quotient, model some equivalence relation. Right? Now I will define this equivalence relation. And it is this. So suppose that we have theta prime inside of positive. Positive. Now we should consider the same. Well, maybe let's consider just one. So, let us denote by theta. Maybe with Fourier brackets. And this will be the set of indices I such that the scalar product of theta and root alpha I. So it's always positive because non-negative number because we see the side of dominant covariance. But I will say that I theta will be the set of I such that this non-negative number is less or equal than 2g minus. Well, I assume that the genus is not zero in case of genus zero, just usual characterization. But here we have this collection. So these are where indices I. In case of SL2, this was just this small the beginning of the structure. But here we have for everything we have this story. And now we have equivalence relation on lambda plus which tells us that states that derivative equivalence at a prime. This means that first the corresponding set and the next is that well that theta minus the prime well, it's a linear combination with correlates alpha I from this. The equivalent relation property is given. We can consider the parabolic circumference that corresponds to this collection here. Weight, or co-weights if you wish. Then we can consider its leading portion. And then we pass to the leading portion model of the competent. And the corresponding portion from the latest of G into the latest portion model of the competent is exactly the portion model of this combinations of this index. This index R. And this means that well, if we consider that the degree of that if we consider that the corresponding, if we would consider the corresponding strata or equivalent thetas, then they will have then they will come from if we consider reduction of the corresponding parabolic subgroup, then they will have same degrees. So discrete invariants will be absolute.
So in particular, all the components of theta and theta prime outside the I theta, which equals I theta prime, will agree. Will all
Yeah, they're absolute.
So they can only disagree when.
And you said that this equivalence relation is actually fine. And what we do, we consider the union of strata with respect to this equivalence relation. And the claim is that this union of strata will be locally closed. And they are concrete. Notice that this equivalence relation will have just single element in case when the pulse is scalar product for every I more will be more than G minus. So deep inside the co-weight pool, positive pool. This is a trivial equivalence relation. But the moment we get closer to the walls and closer in this and this sense, we will have several equivalence relation. Well, so these are the strata. And again, the claim is that the corresponding that this strata are concrete. And in order to prove that, we construct the chart. And the chart is exactly the same as in case of SHD. So we do the proving. So for every equivalence class of theta, we have the set and we have the corresponding corresponding parabolic set. Now, what we do, we consider the opposite subgroup. And the opposite subgroup, it has same leading function. Now, inside of M theta, we consider the union of the strata with respect to this equivalence relation. Here on M theta contains the union of strata or not in the same way. The union of strata level same by the equivalence class, then we consider its pullback to with that in mind. That's not. And we project the thing to BunG. And for exactly as the same for exactly the same reason as in case of the thing two, the thing produces you. The thing is at the final plane. This is a contraction chain. Instead of the reason is just exactly the same. You check the smallness because well, it's essentially this. Right? Maybe I will finish. At this point, checking the things would take an hour. That's easier to put it in the article.
Are there any questions?
Just want to clarify, this is not in 3360, right?
Well, no. The thing is, not in characteristic theory, we should consider about this maps from but it's no, it works not a characteristic zero, but one should be a little bit more careful that the description of the strata. Is not accessible strata, but unusual situation. Because the map from the pre-image in BunG of semi-stable and bundles, it's mapped to BunG. It's not locally close compared, but it's a rejection of one points. So there could be some a little bit of problems, but if you take care of that, everything looks some characteristics. Maybe in characteristic P also. Sorry, I think this should be taken a little bit wide, not the 2G minus 2, but a little bit wide. And again, it's partial considerations inside of the article. This for characteristics.
Is the statement about consideration is also BunG from?
I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know how to play this. And I don't know if anybody checked it. Because
Also, sorry.
well,
You also speak about you include this contractiveness of the BunG. The crystals are going to be like hidden shapes on BunG thereof. So I assume that somehow in the proof this contractiveness properties translates nicely into the corresponding property on the theorem side, right?
yeah, maybe. Maybe, but again, it would be nice to anyway.
So I have a question. You mentioned that this BunBN and BunN are isomorphism stacks that can put reduced structures. My question is, how does that fail exactly?
The characteristic P.
Or is it, I'm not quite sure. Is it only a characteristic P failure?
Just a moment. So again, so we consider SL2. Yes.
Yes, that's in the SL2.
Yes.
Wait.
And just a moment. No, I think it's maybe in case of SL2 it's just always fine. Given the characteristic people, not 100% sure.
The failure would be in
Yes.
characteristic P if there is one.
Maybe, but no, it's just advanced. Locally close. Thank you.